Now, William, I mentioned earlier, you immerse yourself in the history of the period you're working on. When do you begin to, as Anna does, when do you begin to start sketching?
Well, I'm number 2 on a list. Set design comes first, then costume design, then lighting design, and then, if you count sound design, sound design. Got my point? Heard it loud and clear? Okay. There's a question whether it's technology or art. It's something we actually sit around and talk about. Well, we're drunk when we're talking about it. Normally, we never blurt it out to an audience. No, I'm definitely number 2. The world is created. Sometimes I'm an observer as the art and
we certainly get involved early on.
We do, but you start first. You create the world with the director, and then I come in and populate the world. And you have to be your ego has to be very aware of all this, where you come in the pecking order. And then the lighting designer has been sort of watching you both, you know, like that. And then they come in and do the magic. That is
and also
design.
the choreographer is involved as well.
Well, that's like the director.
With the director,
choreographer and the director we work with. And if you have a living playwright, there's the living playwright. Shakespeare's pretty safe, but not necessarily if you have a translator. But they don't translate. What do they call? They dramaturg?
No, they call it adaptation now because they get a bigger royalty if they're
English to English. I haven't quite figured this out.
It's true. And also, a lot of playwrights who can't speak the language that they're translating from will still do the translation.
It's very funny.
Lanford Wilson could not speak Russian. He did a lot of adaptations of Chekhov.
It's very funny.
But then you own it. So I'm sorry, but when do you then begin to go, and there must come a point where you've met with the director and the set designer, and so you go away and then you begin to sketch?
I'm aware of all of, Cinderella, for instance.
Right.
And Edwin Drood. We just did 2 wonderful, big old, huge, big old juggernaut productions. And in both cases, we both had a lot of pictures and influences.
And we shared information with each other because the color is very important. And
I won't even start thinking color until she's picked her colors. And crucial.
But I think your colors influence my colors.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I do.
But I'm waiting for you. I'm reacting to your colors.
Well, I was reacting to your colors. So
work together all the time. She's just telling me.
This number 2 is on the rise.
Yeah. No. It's very important. It's very important to be very strict in the world is created.
Yeah.
And that's in the Bible, isn't it? First comes the and. There we go.
But I respond to your colors. I would put it that way. We
on Edwin Drood, we did some back and forth too.
Yeah.
In color shifting. Well, there you go.
It's a good relationship.
But the characters, because I don't just. I mean, I have to. Well, then they're the live human beings.
Yes,
I know. I was kidding.
He has
no,
to deal
darling,
with the
you
actors.
look great in this. You know, and my work's cut out for me right there. So. Yes, I'm an actor. Your hips are fabulous. Your hips look just great. So I never turn sideways so they can see the nose. But, no, you develop a. I've worked with almost everybody now.
I know. Well, I'll get to that in a moment.
You know, that's another whole story.
But you sketch though. You do you work on the computer?
No, I draw everything with pencil and paper. Or my new favorite thing since Cinderella, actually, I draw with an ink stopper. Ink dropper, ink dropper that you squeeze. I actually draw with it. It's like doing the crossword puzzle in ink, because once you do it, that's it, because it bleeds through the paper.
Right.
And so I like it. It's very free. Some of my directors can't read it. They say, "What the hell is that?" And I'm going, "Isn't it nice? I don't know what I'm looking at." So you have to adapt for your director. And
I remember you telling me the story of one of the first shows he did was Tommy Toon's wonderful production of Nine, which had striking costumes. All the women were in black. And I think you designed those costumes on napkins.
Napkins
at a
Charlie's.
restaurant. At Charlie's.
Charlie's. I was a night owl then in beer, and it was Heineken or Beck's. And that totally influenced the look of I think it was that sort of gurgly, deep Beck's, that sort of bitter taste. That influenced. So it wasn't chic at all. It was just Beck's gurgling in me. And I drew them all, and they were fortunately very tall, long napkins. So, and the ladies were tall and, tall drinks of water. So and nothing wide. It had to fit on, and I drew it with a, what would they call it, magic marker, jiffy markers?
Sharpie?
Sharpies, there you go.
Sharpie.
Sharp. Don't start.
Where are those napkins now?
You can't find them.
I can't find them.
Oh, no.
These were some of the greatest costumes ever on
And they were
Broadway.
all drawn on these napkins, which is actually sort of what I'm trying to redo now with the, because once you draw with a Sharpie on a,
Yeah.
think about it, an absorbent napkin, that's it. And so I did all the, I sketched every one of them at Charlie's, and, or was it Sam's then? What was it first?
I think it was Charlie's
Charlie's
first.
And then Sam's.
And now it's gone.
Right.
Now it's a parking
Now it's a
lot.
parking lot, exactly.
No, now it's art installations from MoMA. They do those strange
yeah.
conceptual things.
Right.
Right.
Waiting for the new Days Inn to be built, or something like that. But I do think the size of those napkins influenced the look of Nine,
And
no kidding.
then the Anita Morris commercial was built around your costumes.
That's right. That's
Anita Morris was a wonderful dancer, and she had a very racy William Ivy Long, sort of a see-through costume.
Lace.
That
Sort of
lace.
a-
It was all lace. Yeah, it was
sort
all
of a-
lace. It's in your shop.
It is.
But the
I've got-
whole TV,
yeah.
tell them about the TV spot.
Well, she became popular with the audience, and Tommy Tune knew that he was going to lead with her as the, and then he had the CBS, or was it CBS, I think it was, NBC. Anyway, they did a TV commercial, they filmed it, and then the head of the programming said, oh no, we can't show this at all, because it's too racy. I can see France. And 'cause she was doing part of her number, selling tickets nonetheless. And so what they did is they cropped it and did another one, and all you saw was her chin. She says, I'm not allowed to. Sold more tickets. Wow. You know, perverse New Yorkers, you know, what were they thinking? So yes, it was, but those days are gone.
That was a real example of where the costume became the star
Well,
of the show.
it wasn't the costume. It was knowing what to do with it.
That was and that's, by the
It
way,
was
it
your
had
area.
nothing to do with it, but that's what the advertising agency
Yeah.
took what he did
I just did a
and
little
used it to
simple
sell the
see-through
show because it
garment.
was so provocative.
And they knew to work it. And then they knew to take the band on television, right? It can't be seen.
Right. Oh, right. Banned on TV.
Yeah,
Oh,
and LED.
yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.